Predator drones like this one are used by the U.S. to strike extremists inside Pakistan's lawless frontier. But equally, the Predator is what the Pakistanis are now calling the core irritant in their relationship with the U.S. For the U.S.'s representative here, Ambassador Cameron Munter, this issue, among others, is the reason why recent ties between Islamabad and Washington have been strained.
That it's been a very rough patch. Where I'm optimistic is that we're on the road to having some better conversations to address the key issues that we want to deal with, to get the agenda back onto how we can help Pakistan, where we can engage. This
rough patch hit a low point at the beginning of the year when CIA contractor Raymond Davis shot and killed 2 Pakistani men. The case never went to court. Davis was released under Pakistani law, but it infuriated many here. To aggravate things further, just last week, the White House released a report criticizing Pakistan's counterterrorism efforts, mainly in the federally administered territories where extremists take refuge. The report specifically underscored the difficulty Pakistan has had in keeping areas clear of militants after initial clearing operations. The U.S. would also like to see the expansion of military operations into one of the most troubled areas, North Waziristan, where some say al-Qaeda's leadership is hiding. But Ambassador Munter says the U.S. recognizes it's a decision for the Pakistanis themselves.
Ultimately, the decision to bring peace, to bring the authority of the Pakistani leadership to bear in North Waziristan, that's a decision for Pakistan. We've given our advice. Sometimes we may not have been diplomatic about it. But the fact is, that's going to be their decision, and we do accept that.
But with 100,000 U.S. troops fighting an insurgency next door in Afghanistan, that may be easier said than done. Many critics say allowing Taliban and other groups to find refuge in Waziristan makes success in Afghanistan that much more difficult. One way the U.S. has been combating that cross-border traffic is with unmanned drones that strike into Pakistani territory, something that has further angered the Islamabad government. Just this week, the head of Pakistan's military intelligence headed to Washington, D.C. to discuss not only the drone attacks, but other unresolved issues. U.S. authorities, including Ambassador Munter, say those talks were substantive and fruitful.
That it was an open, frank discussion, went on for many hours. They talked about a number of elements of the intelligence relationship, and I think made a lot of progress. There's always going to be ways in which Pakistan sees things one way, America might see them the other. But like in every partnership, the point is to have those kinds of conversations to work those things out.
Authorities here in Islamabad acknowledge that tensions have eased and that they want to move on as well. But Pakistan is full of internal problems of its own. And that means that the future of the U.S.-Pakistani alliance is always subject to change.